Goose.
While your day is winding down, they're just getting started. This is South Coast Tonight with Chris McCarthy and Marcus Farrow. They've got you covered on all the news of the day, from local issues to politics on both sides of the aisle. This is the place where the movers and shakers come to be heard, to listen, and where they're held accountable. This is South Coast Tonight on WBSM.
Welcome to South Coast Tonight. I'm Marcus. 508-996-0500 is how you can get on the program this evening. We'll also take your messages on the WBSM app chat. So, I think we've talked about this. Talked about it with the mayor at certain points, but there has been, now that we're getting close to some of these offshore wind deals coming into fruition, there's these 20-year purchase power agreements and companies that are looking to try to back out of them or terminate them or renegotiate them, right? And they, like Avangrid is one of these companies. They have a 20-year, they signed a 20-year purchase power agreement. I want to say in 2019 or 2021, and they said basically based on supply chain issues and inflation and all of that these are no longer workable deals, right? They said that these are no longer workable deals and that they want to kill these purchase power agreements. So Senator Mike Rodrigues, friend of the show and who's chairman of Ways and Means, he said he thinks that any offshore wind company that, because there's another round of bidding coming, he thinks that any offshore wind company that moves to terminate its contract, or as he said, non-performs on its contract, should be precluded from the bidding process, should be banned from any future contract bids going forward. So I talked to Senator Rodrigues on Sunday. I was at a town hall in Fall River for Congressman Jake Auchincloss. I talked to him. I think we're working on seeing if he can call into the show if he's got time. I know he's a busy guy. He writes the budget, right? But we're going to work on a time to see if he can call into the show and talk about his position a little bit more. I also want to ask Mayor Mitchell about his position on that. Avangrid, I believe, is also a part owner of Vineyard Wind. So I asked Governor Healy, by the way, 508-996-0500 is how you can get on. I see some calls. I'm going to get to him in a second. I asked Governor Healy at the event if she supports Senator Rodrigues' proposal. Senator Rodrigues wasn't there; it's not his district. But I asked him if she supports Senator Rodrigues' proposal, and she said basically, "I'm for a process that's competitive and about moving things forward." That sounds like a no to me. But then afterwards, I was approached by the CEO of Avangrid. And he talked about, and I talked to their spokesperson for a little bit. And, they had sent me a comment. You can find the comment on WBSM.com. They were saying, hey, we've got the Vineyard Wind Project that's up and running. Where, we are looking to, we're committed to delivering wind to the Commonwealth, right? So 508-996-0500. But Senator Rodrigues is saying basically, he thinks that they're non-performing. And I wonder if there gets to be any momentum behind that deal. I think it's probably a difficult position that they're in, given that, the circumstances have changed fundamentally. probably since they signed that contract. But, we've had these rounds of state bidding, right? You sign these purchase power agreements. This is a contract. You entered into a contract. You either got to perform or not perform. He says, basically, the fine that they're going to have to pay for breaking the contract isn't good enough. They should just be banned, which would disincentivize companies from, backing out of contracts in the future. 508-996-0500. Good evening.
Hey, happy St. Patty's Day.
Hey, you too.
I don't have anything on. I'm not talking about any of the issues you have going on, if that's okay.
Sure.
So I've got this big St. Patty's Day party planned. I've got it being catered. I sent out dozens of invitations. A lot of people are coming. So I got a whole Irish boiled dinner, and I've got Guinness and Bailey's and Jameson all getting delivered with the catering. Big party. I thought you and Chris were going to be there together tonight, talking about St. Patty's Day or going out after. But no, he left you on your own?
Yeah, no, he's not on with me tonight. He'll be back Monday. So, yeah.
Oh, because I was thinking hopefully you guys are getting together after, because this party I have planned is at your house.
Oh,
all
yeah?
the invitations are out and people said they were showing up. Big party. It's going to be catered. It's going to be the alcohol there. We've even got a little leprechaun with a pot of gold coins. Is going to be handed out to all the people that show up, but not for the host. You're going to be the host because it's at your house. Just wanted to give you the heads up and confess. It's cash on delivery when the catering shows up.
Okay.
So you're going to need to come up with some money. And I just want to make sure you know, because I don't want, these people getting like all cheered up and then you send them home. So you're going to need to keep an eye on them.
Okay.
Pretty much make accommodations. They're going to probably need to spend the night.
Okay.
And then if there's leftovers, they're probably going to want you to whip them up some, corned beef hash and stuff.
Well, sounds like there's a lot of food, so.
Right. So in the morning, they're going to probably expect you to kind of whip up some corned beef hash, sober them up.
Okay.
Some of them are going to be stinking drunk. They might need a shower. You might have to wait in line for your own bathroom.
Okay.
But keep the neighborhood safe. And I think you're going to have a lot of fun because 12 of them are brand new Irish immigrants.
Okay.
So you're going to kind of need to get them
that sounds
interesting.
I'd be looking forward to having some interesting conversations with them if they're from Ireland.
They don't even speak perfectly clear English.
Do they speak Gaelic?
Yes, and
Okay.
it's the way how rapidly
Speaking
they
the old
speak.
tongue.
They're hard to understand. Let me tell you. But so you don't get any of the gold coins out of the little pot. It's just for the guests.
Okay.
But you're the host. I planned it. I sent out the invitations. You're the host. You have to pay for it.
Okay.
All right. And then just once you become friends with these guys, because they are hilarious. A lot of fun. But you're going to need to help, acclimate them to the area.
Okay. Acclimate them how?
Whatever they need.
Okay.
Work it out. Once you become friends, you'll know what they need. You try to, get through the language barrier. They speak a little bit of English here and there, but they're going to
speak fluent Gaelic.
Help them out.
I'm gonna have to speak. I'm gonna have to learn to speak Gaelic.
What's that?
They're from Ireland, so they don't speak English. They're from Ireland. They speak Gaelic.
They're from Ireland. They speak whatever the heck they speak with a little bit of English thrown in.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're going to need, they're going to need somewhere to hang out until they figure out how to make it out on their own.
Okay.
Just start here. All right. You got it, Marcus. I know you do. Have a good time.
All right. Thanks.
They're fun. They're going to be your new best friends.
Yeah. No, I'm looking forward to it. That sounds like a fun time.
Don't forget COD. Don't forget COD. You're going to pay for the stuff when it gets delivered.
COD. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. That's fine.
And the guys are already going to be there when they'll be all around.
They'll already be there. Okay. That sounds good. Yeah. No, I can handle it. I can take care of it.
I was hoping Chris was going to be there too because, he's kind of a Irish guy. I think he would have been fun for the both of you.
He would have been. I think he would have had a good time. It's unfortunate But you know, that's cool. I mean, I haven't had a.
Maybe he's listening. Maybe he'll show the heck up. Maybe
he'll
be
show
there
up.
before you
Maybe
get
he'll
home
show
from
up.
work.
Yeah, I haven't had a house party in a while. That sounds like fun.
You know.
Well, look, I've got space, and I've got and I could probably, unless I don't know.
Marcus, I sent out a lot of invitations.
Oh, you sent out a lot of
gotta have
invitations.
space.
Yeah, I've got space, and I can probably cover the food cost and the drink cost. Yeah, that's fine. I can handle it. I think I can handle it. So,
all right, keep it up because it's going to be going on for however long it takes you to get them situated out in the community.
Okay.
Don't send them back to me.
Sounds good. Thank you.
I had enough of them already. They're fun, but enough is enough. All right, have a good time.
You as well. Bye. 508-996-0500. Good evening.
Marcus, I got to tell you, in the last caller, I think what she's trying to, and by the way, I'm not supposed to call in twice in one night, am I?
Sure you can.
I can.
Call in 5 times.
Marcus, the last caller and everybody that's listening, all of your friends, dude, St. Patrick's Day, and you are the luckiest, can't swear, in the city, Marcus. You've hit it out of the park. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Celebrate it. You've done so much. And talk about, I don't know how you don't feel lucky, but you are the luckiest, I got to say it, like in America, okay? You've hit it out of the park, Marcus. You've done a great job. People love you. And you should feel happy about what you've done. Seriously.
I appreciate that. It's very nice.
Celebrate St. Patrick's Day. One last thing I have to ask you. I know you're talking about Senator Roger Faffern, but I think at fiscal year last year, you had an article with Mike Rodrigues with the surplus in the budget.
Back that was after sessions had ended, and he was talking about the economic development bill.
Yes, how much?
The economic development bill was like $3 billion.
Yeah, $3 billion in surplus, right? So,
well, there was like $6 billion, and then we lost some of that to the 62F.
Yeah. Okay, so still a Democrat, right? And now, Republican governor's gone. We've had this conversation about Republican governors and Democratic governors, right? So, friendly $5 or a round of drinks. What's going to be the excess or fiscal budget next year, this coming year? What's the excess going to be?
I don't know if they projected that out yet.
Well, no, I'm not. This is me and you talking, right? Mm-hmm. Is it going to be the same
Probably.
Excess equal to zero or a deficit?
Oh, I don't think there'll be a deficit. I think there'll be a surplus. I think it's in the Constitution. States can't run on a deficit.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So friendly $5. I bet it's less than last year.
Yeah,
friendly
you think so?
$5?
I'll do $5.
I'm just saying. $5.
$5 is good.
Simple
it's
bet.
gone up every year, so I'll bet 5 on that.
Okay, cool. All right, Marcus. Just you're a lucky guy. We love you and keep up the good work, pal.
Appreciate it, Barry. Thank you.
Take care.
508-996-0500. Good evening.
Oh, good evening, Marcus. I listened to your show last night where you had the Lieutenant Governor on about housing.
Mm-hmm.
And today I happened to go and support a small business on Arnold Street in New Bedford. It's like a little coffee shop. You can get a few provisions.
Coastal Provisions? That's the new place that just opened. Yeah, I heard about it.
Yeah, but I was impressed because this person took a chance in an area that really has been gone downhill a bit.
Sure.
And the houses around that particular street are so beautiful. It would be wonderful if the state of Massachusetts gave people $100,000 down to buy the home, and then they have to renovate it. Now, it sounds far-fetched to do that, but when I listened to the Lieutenant Governor talking about ways to increase housing, she was build, and whatnot. I would love to see these little neighborhoods come back to life. It's hard to find a little home. It was just very quaint to go in that place. This gentleman took I was impressed with his a leap of faith, I guess.
Sure.
I might say,
Yeah.
To start this, and I live further away from that area, but I had to go support it. Listening to his story.
Yeah.
I had to just buy something.
No, I hear you. And yeah, you see most stuff like that, open like downtown or, in that like 13 blocks of downtown. And that's just a little bit further from there in Arnold Street. Yeah. It's not a place with a heck of a lot of development to my knowledge. So it's pretty interesting. And in terms of putting down payments, but I don't, maybe not listen, I mean, that would be great if everybody could get $100,000 for a down payment. But I think expanding first-time homebuyer programs where people get 10 to like 25, I think that's something that's very achievable in the near future. A lot more access to those programs.
I would go up to 50 or 75 because a lot of those homes, I mean, the character of them, the structure of it, and it was just, the neighborhood is run down a bit, but there is a coziness to it. You could see the working man could afford a home back then.
Sure.
I don't know. It was just cozy. It wasn't a big McMansion like they're building today. A simple little home. And I thought this gentleman taking a leap of faith in a neighborhood like that to open a little shop. If just the neighborhood could get boosted up a bit, and I mean, instead of like building new stuff, just offer something to a homeowner that you will live in it, you will restore it, fix it up, but we're going to give you a chunk to put down. And I think we would get our money's worth tenfold in the future. That's it.
I agree. Yeah.
Okay. Have a good evening.
Thanks for the call. I appreciate it. That was a nice call. I really like that. I think that's first-time homebuyer programs is something that Chris had asked the Lieutenant Governor about yesterday, and I think that is something, like she said, if you have more people willing to invest in those particular neighborhoods, maybe you incentivize investment in those particular neighborhoods, you're going to see improvement there. There's some areas that we've seen in the city, like State Street sticks out as one of them, where you've seen over time, there's a significant amount of improvement because people got in at the ground level, started working on those old types of those sort of older homes, and they've really made them nice. Now there's something pretty good happening over there on State Street, and maybe Arnold Street can be a benefactor of that too. 508-996-0500 is how you can get in the program. Let's go back to the phones. Good evening.
Marcus, what time is that party start?
I guess.
I'm gonna be there.
Guess,
I'm gonna show up.
Yeah, I guess 10:15.
Hey,
I'm gonna get out of here.
I'm on my way home from Providence. Me and my wife, we went out for Italian tonight.
Oh, nice.
And I'm sitting here and I'm listening to this lady go. I thought she was serious at first. I'm like, about throwing a party. I'm
Me
like,
too.
oh, she's about to say something about her party that she. I thought she was going to throw out her address or something, and I was like...
I would have liked that. I would have gone.
I was dying. My wife was like, this lady's nuts. But then I had to explain it to her. She's talking about the illegal immigrants.
Yes. Yeah. That's what
funny,
I figured. Yeah.
I laughed. That was a good joke.
That was good.
But, that's it. I just...
How was your dinner? How was your dinner? Where'd you go?
Yeah, we went to Zuma, Trattoria.
Great place.
Over on Federal Hill.
I've been there. It's awesome.
It's really good. We had a gift card from Christmas, so we
nice.
Use it.
Good.
Yeah, it was really good. Very good.
Excellent.
So that's about it.
All right, man.
All right, Marcus. Have a good night, man.
You as well. 508-996-0500. I went to an Italian restaurant up in the North End in Boston. Actually, went with Councilor Dunn, former Councilor Dunn. He lives up there now. I went to an Italian restaurant up in Boston called Luca. It's really, really good. I got to tell you, Italian food in the North End of Boston lives up to the hype. I mean, Providence is great too. So, but I went up there and because I hadn't eaten up in the North End. Yeah, it lives up to the hype for sure. Great spots up there. All right, 508-996-0500. I'm going to take a break. I got to take a break. Hey, welcome back. Happy St. Patrick's Day, even to all of you who may have had Purdue winning the Final Four in your bracket. Tough luck. Tough luck there. Purdue just lost to Farley Dickinson. That's the name of the college they lost to. Number one seed Purdue lost to number 16 seed Farley Dickinson University. So, congrats to the Knights. I think they're called the Knights. But if you had Purdue in your bracket, some of my friends did. Tough luck. I got a bracket with my fantasy football league to number one pick. I am obviously in first because I know everything and I'm right about everything. Just kidding. In terms of the party thing, I haven't had a good house party in quite some time, honestly. And I haven't had a good house party in quite some time. I used to have more my younger days, like like high school. There's probably some people in Fair and PD that remember him that still work for Fair and PD. It was probably 16, 17 years ago. There's probably some people that still work for the Fair and PD that remember some of those get-togethers. But I don't know. 508-996-0500 is how you can get in the program. Also take your messages on the WBSM app chat. Yeah, that's pretty much it. What were we talking about before the party thing? I was talking about offshore wind. I was talking about, but now I just kind of want to talk about St. Patrick's Day parties. Does anybody know of a good St. Patrick's Day party that's happening? I'm not going to go. But if you've got like a good throwdown, I'm just interested in hearing about it. I want to hear your war stories. If you got a few good war stories from some St. Patrick's Day pasts, I'd be very interested in hearing them. I'm a little bit past the St. Patrick's Day sort of partying, whatever. I don't really like to do that. But I'm sure there's a lot of you out there that have some seriously hilarious stories on St. Patty's Day. I used to go to the Newport Parade. I think I talked a little bit about this earlier. I used to go to the Newport Parade every year. I had a friend that had a grandfather that lived on Thames Street. So we used to have fun. We used to go there every year, and then he used to get really pissed off and then yell at all of us to get the hell out, which at the time I was kind of like, oh man, that sucks. But then I think about it now that I'm someone who has purchased a home before and thrown parties in that home. And then I thought, well, you know what? He was a pretty good sport for about as long as he could have been. Once you buy stuff like that, you're like, oh wow, that's expensive. Don't break that. That's expensive. But anyway, 508-996-0500 is how you can get the program. I've been to the Boston Parade too. It's just too much. It's just a lot. Like, it's fine. It's an experience. You should probably maybe do it once or not. I don't know, whatever. It's just a lot. There's a lot of people everywhere all the time. Everything everywhere all at once. It's a great movie, by the way. You should check it out if you haven't seen it yet. App chat. Marcus, thanks for playing along with my little April Fool's joke on St. Patty's Day. I know you're a good sport. You can handle it. And yes, that guy's right. The lady's crazy. I like it. It got some conversation going. 508-996-0500. That's how you can get on this evening. Yeah, I don't know if anybody else is doing any St. Patty's Day stuff. The half marathon, there'll probably be a lot of stuff going on around the half marathon. People will be partying there, whatever. Dan McCarthy always does a great job running the half marathon every year. So you definitely want to check that out. It's a good event. I got some friends that are running in it. Good luck. But 508-996-0500. That's how you can join me this evening. So we've had a pretty busy week this week. We had we had a lot of people in this week, didn't we? We started off with Councilor Shane Burgo talking about the rent control ballot question that he put forward. We had who did I have on Tuesday? I don't even remember. It all just blends together, right? I had on Wednesday we had school committee member, school committee candidate Lynn Turner. I'm actually having all the candidates from the Dartmouth School Committee on the program. I've booked most of them so far. I'm looking to reach out to the others to book them too, because, I think there's probably some important issues there. The Indian logo thing that just happened last year, and there's still that Defend Dartmouth group, I think, is still fairly active in the Indian logo discussion. They have the pledge. Candidates can sign the pledge to keep the logo, the Indian logo in the drawing. We had one candidate that had signed the pledge. I guess we can ask the other candidates if they did too. I mean, I think there's probably a lot more that's going on in the schools that are maybe a little bit, not to say your mascot isn't important, but there is probably a lot more in schools that is important, probably more important than the logo, and that's probably what will dominate the conversation. But 508-996-0500. Good evening.
Happy holidays to you.
You too.
How about an Irish poem from yours truly?
Sure.
Ready?
Yeah, absolutely.
I've wondered at the sight of shamrocks dancing in older eyes, and the songs I sang have words now fully known. I'll sing again. I've heard of potatoes infected with the English spirit, and have known of Orangemen back with pounds in the Queen's English that wore the suits of quislings and served in Fenian wars and jails of black and tan. I yearn for the melody of the Gaelic. I'll sing of the green when this blarney gets stoned, but I long to go home. Belfast, 1983.
I love that. That's great.
Happy holiday.
Yeah, you as well. 508-996-0500. If you got any Gaelic poems, love to hear it. Good evening.
Yeah, happy St. Paddy's Day to the Irish folks out there.
You too, man.
Let's see. I was talking about this one night, and you were talking something about local politics, which I really don't like to go into, but we were talking about the pond at Buttonwood Park. At one time, people could swim in that. When did they ban swimming in that pond? It looks like the pictures I've seen look like you go back to the 1920s or a little bit before that. If anybody out here knows when people could actually swim in that pond and when they stopped it, I'd appreciate it, because I'm actually looking into that pond and the history of it.
Yeah, well, let's check that. I'll have to check that out. I'm sure there's somebody listening or somebody that usually does listen that would know that. Maybe Scott. I know Scott Lima, Ward 5 City Councilor. He's very active around the pond. He's very active around the pond stuff because that's his ward. So he might know. Maybe Mayor Mitchell knows, but there's probably somebody who knows.
It's pretty sad that people polluted that pond so bad that you can't go swimming in there anymore. That would be nice if you go swimming there.
Yeah, I suppose that would be cool. When I was younger, I used to paddle boat.
Yeah, they still do that, I believe.
Okay.
Did they stop it?
Huh?
Did they stop paddle boating? They still do that there.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I haven't gone there in the summer in quite a while. I don't think. I'd have to.
Well, if anybody knows the history of that pond and when you could swim in it, let us know. Or if you can find any information, look it up and let us know. I
would definitely be interested to know that as well.
All right, guys. Happy St. Paddy's Day.
Thanks. You too, man. Yeah, I'm not sure. What's interesting? I was reading an old book on just talking about things that used to be around that aren't around anymore. I was reading an old book, or a book on old stuff, I should say, in Fairhaven. It might have been a postcard history of Fairhaven. I think that's what it was. And they had it was old pictures, and I think there was maybe in the 1920s. There was actually in Fort Phoenix a pavilion, a boardwalk that went all the way to the ocean. There was this pavilion at the end, and people used to have elegant little parties or just hang out there. And I was looking at that, I'm like, boy, that's really cool. I wish that was still there. I'd I don't know, maybe hang out there or something. But then what happened was there was a major storm that sort of, demolished it. And I think from that point, they decided to forego, any maintenance on it. They're like, okay, well, this is damaged beyond repair. We're just going to take it down. But there used to be a nice pavilion/boardwalk thing that went all the way out into the ocean in Fort Phoenix. Pretty cool. 508-996-0500 is how you can get in the program. We'll also take your messages on the WBSM app chat. This is South Coast Tonight. I'm Marcus, and I got to take this break.
1420 WBSM, New Bedford's News Talk Station.
This time next week, I'll be sick in bed with West Nile virus, thanks to a mosquito bite right in front of my house.
In 8 minutes, my daughter will be in an ambulance, having an asthma attack, triggered by cockroaches.
I'm going to be bitten by a tick today. I won't even know it until Lyme disease turns my life upside down.
Learn how to protect your family at pestworld.org. A public service message from the National Pest Management Association and the CDC.
Take South Coast Tonight with you wherever you go. Stream Chris and Marcus on the WBSM app or get their podcast on the app at WBSM.com. Now, back to South Coast Tonight.
Hey, good evening.
Good evening, Marcus.
How are you?
Oh, I'm okay. Hey, I wanted to ask you, that St. Patrick's Day breakfast that they have in Boston there, where they invite the governor and everybody, have they had that already, or is that yet to come?
I think that's tomorrow, and that's hosted by the senator they got up there, Nick Collins.
Oh,
but,
okay.
Yeah, I think that's tomorrow.
Yeah, do you know what channel that'll be on? I usually like to watch that.
You know what? I think I can probably find out. I'm going to check the if we're talking about the same one.
I think we are. They usually invite the governor, and there's a lot of humor and stuff about serious matters at times, but it's all in good sport, and people laugh it off, and it's the way things in a sense should be.
Yeah. I'm looking now. It looks like there's a breakfast on. Is it before the parade? Because Saturday it looks like they are going to a brunch in Dorchester.
Yeah.
And then they're going to some conference in Worcester on Saturday. This is their public schedule.
Yeah, that could be it. The brunch
on if it's the brunch in Dorchester.
Yeah.
The St. Patrick's Day brunch.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what let's check. I don't know what channel. Maybe
5,
channel
4.
I would guess it's 4 or 5.
That's tomorrow morning, right?
That would be tomorrow. That the brunch is tomorrow at 11.
Mm-hmm.
Just looking at the and then the next day is the St. Patrick's Day breakfast. That's hosted by a state senator, Nick Collins. That's at 9 a.m.
Is that on Sunday?
That's on Sunday.
Yeah. Oh, I've been looking through my TV, my cable channel, and usually they have it up there on the grid. I couldn't find it, what channel it might be on. I always thought that was a good time, and no matter what the political feelings and everything, everyone could have a good laugh and make fun of everybody's positions and stuff,
Sure.
but yet it was all done in good spirit and stuff like that, and it's the way things to me in a sense used to be,
right.
And I just thought it was is Governor Healy going to be there, do you know?
Yeah, I mean, there's two sort of, there's that brunch at 11 on Saturday. They're both going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
The breakfast on Sunday at 9, they're both going to be there as well. That's what it says in their public schedule.
And it doesn't say it would be covered on any channel, huh?
No, this is just
too bad.
Yeah, it's just a press thing.
I hope they
haven't
haven't dropped it. Sometimes they just don't post it and stuff because I always enjoy doing watching that. It's again, they talk about how they're different, but yet at the same time, it's all done with a laugh, and for the day, the seriousness is put aside, and it shows that you can still be disagree and not be disagreeable.
Right.
And I just think it was a good thing to have on, and oh well.
I'm looking. Yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm looking now. I mean, there's some coverage on the 9 o'clock. Definitely on the 9 o'clock breakfast, the Iron Workers one. But I just don't know which one would be. Oh wait. Yeah. Okay. So there's the one at 9 the one at 9 a.m. It says it's going to be broadcast on the Boston Neighborhood Network and on WROL AM 950 Irish Radio.
Well,
so I don't know. Maybe that's picked up by 4 and 5 too.
Yeah. Again, I've been looking at the grid that the cable channel gives you, and there's nothing on there.
Yeah.
So who did you say was going to be on OTR?
Healy. No, not Healy. Driscoll.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think Healy is going to be on Channel 10 with Gene Vincente, I think.
Okay.
I think it's like...
In Providence, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's either Saturday at 5 a.m. and then something on Sunday possibly, too. It's the same thing they'll rebroadcast. And I wish they would rebroadcast OTR, too, to tell you the truth. Because sometimes with everything that goes on there, it's good to watch things a second time because you pick up things that sometimes you miss,
No, I hear
like
you.
reading a book a second time.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, it is on YouTube. Usually, that interviews they OTR. They usually put that on YouTube.
Oh, I see. Well, I'm kind of challenged with that stuff, being an older guy and everything and that sort of stuff.
Sure, I understand.
So, okay. And you left your political post in Fairhaven.
Yeah, I had to. I got too much going on here.
Well, did you get frustrated with trying to not sharpen the pencil and not tighten your belt?
No,
getting money from the town to do things.
I have complained about that. Every year there's like arbitrary cuts to the budget.
Yeah,
and
that's the town that you live in. That's the way it is.
Yeah, I know. I did get mad about that stuff, but
I know. You're still a liberal. I understand, but the town is that way, and it gets passed down from generation
we also need money to do things. They want us to do stuff, and we usually sometimes would have our parks department is one guy basically, and then a bunch of seasonal workers. Some departments in BPW do operate on a shoestring budget. So,
wasn't there a problem with the firefighters too?
Yeah, they need staffing. They're probably a couple short of where they should be. Well, they're actually like 7 short of where they should be, but optimally. But they said they can work. Basically, right now they got 6 firefighters per shift. They might get 7 by July, but they're really more comfortable with 9. Optimal staffing levels are 14, but they're saying 9's a good compromise.
Well, again, I would assume the town is growing, right? It's not. It's not what it used to be. How big is the population there in Fairhaven now? Off the top of your head?
16,000, maybe 17,000 now.
I think at one time 13, 14, and maybe I'm wrong, but it is growing. And again, like I mentioned the other day with Sconneck and everything, it is it is not as rural as it used to be when you go down Sconneck Road and stuff like that. Right. Well, I'm sorry though. That you got out of the elected position because I kind of feel you might have been swimming against the tide there trying to get money for this or that and the other.
I mean, you're always swimming against the tide when you're in elected office, I think. But I just, again, it was just my responsibilities here were growing and my time was limited.
Let's put it this way. Let me ask you a question. We got a $400 tax increase in New Bedford. What was your tax increase in Fairhaven? You own property?
Yeah, it was around that the same actually.
$400 in Fairhaven?
Yeah, it was around it was a significant jump.
Oh, I find that hard to believe.
I'm telling you, it was a significant jump. My tax bill in particular was.
There must be a lot of young people moving into Fairhaven, and all those old timers must be, retiring to the nursing home.
Fairhaven has enjoyed lower property taxes for quite some time.
Absolutely.
Those like the first place I bought in Fairhaven, the tax bill was like $2,800, and I looked at comparable places in New Bedford, and it was like around $4,000, right?
Oh yeah.
So we've definitely enjoyed. Some good property taxes, but yeah, they did take a significant jump, and I was wondering why. Honestly, I didn't know why.
Well, I still can't believe that. It's too bad Chris McCarthy isn't on because I'd ask him what was his property tax jumps to try to confirm. Because this $400 in New Bedford, that's the largest increase ever I've seen. I've owned my house since 2002, and I think when I moved into it, it was $400 for the year.
Yeah,
we've gone up 8-fold. I must be around 32 now in the house that I'm in. And I think you better, sharpen your pencil and tighten your belt and take a look at that tax bill again. I find it hard to believe that
it was a couple $100 at least. I remember.
All right, I'll accept that maybe. Over
it was.
Time,
it was a couple $100 at least. Maybe not 4, but it was a couple $100 at least last. I remember.
But to be fair to those who are opposed to the mayor, I know everybody talks about the $25,000 increases in salary to those people that they liked, but no one has pointed out that this $400 tax increase in New Bedford, at least for me, and I know it's around there for other people. I live in a ranch, a small ranch, that sort of stuff. Well, that's the mayor's doing and the city council together, because usually what happens, you have this increase, which I think the mayor proposes, and then the city council knocks it down maybe by, I don't know, a few $1,000s, maybe which compared to the total budget is very, very small.
Right.
What they knock it down to. So, I know too that you worry about the ballot questions. I wouldn't worry. Mitchell, he out-politics these guys.
Well,
in other words, he's got his followers, and if this ever did come to a ballot, they might win the 4-year.
He's already won it though. It's just
hands down.
Yeah, it's just like asking people a bunch of stuff instead of like legislating. That's what it feels like to me.
I think it's good that you ask people because you get them involved in the process.
Listen, I'm super behind on a break.
Okay,
I gotta take
friend.
it.
Hey,
so
you have a good what's left of St. Patty's Day. I hope those people aren't over your house.
I hope they are.
All right, take care.
All right, bye.